What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Tide Talk, the Rhode Island FC podcast that's for the fans, by the fans. Whether you're a day one sicko or new to RIFC, you found your home. Every episode, we're breaking down the latest from Rhode Island FC, the matches, the moments, the players, and everything happening in and around the club. Before we dive in, make sure you're following Tide Talk across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and everywhere else you scroll. Stay locked in for updates, exclusive content, and all things Rhode Island FC. If you're joining us live on YouTube, please say hi and share your thoughts in the chat. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, please take a second to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It helps us grow and bring you even better content every single week. Alrighty, everybody, let's cozy up. Let's crack a beer. And let's dive into this one. It's Sunday, June 14th, and we're here to talk about last night's Rhode Island FC match versus Loudoun United FC. My name is Ryan, and I'll be your host tonight, and I'm joined by none other than Mr. Player Ratings himself, Timmy Sclafani. Timmy, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. It's like 95 degrees in this room that I'm sitting in. I've watched like 18 or 20 hours of soccer this weekend, or football if you want to follow on the international theme. So I'm doing great. It's been lovely. We're both wearing lovely day for Rhode Island shirts, and I feel like it was a lovely weekend for Rhode Island. Just buzz all over the place from the international perspective. We had Bill Burr for the first time at Centerville Bank. We had WWE on Friday, or some kind of wrestling event.
Very unaware of that. That's good to know.
Yeah, the city is alive. You love to see it.
It does feel nice. I did see so many. I was just driving around this morning and saw so many Scotland jerseys just out and about, and that was amazing to see. The vibe the Scots are bringing to the greater kind of Providence region is unbelievable here. But yeah, no, amazing weekend so far. I did actually. Someone saw this shirt on me today at a 1-year-old birthday party and was like, "Wait, do you know the guys from Tide Talk?" And I was like, "Brother, do I ever." So that was really nice to see. So yes, and I will just acknowledge the elephant in the chat. We were late. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties here, but we are here. And Timmy, we get a happy podcast tonight.
Yeah, happy podcast. I feel like I get a disproportionate amount of happy podcasts, which I'm perfectly up for.
Yeah, Matt only wants to come on to Doom, which is fine. You get to come on.
Can I get a bev check? What are you drinking?
Wow, you're gonna call me out. I'm drinking a Athletic Brewing lime and salt. So I'm going a little NA tonight. But usually I throw it in a koozie. That's a little behind the scenes on Tide Talk if it's an NA beverage of choice. What are you drinking, Timmy?
No, I'm not doing any better. I'm probably doing worse. I got these orange vanilla seltzers at Aldi this past week.
I don't think anyone's ever done anything worse for the credibility of this podcast than what you just did. But we'll move forward.
I asked you is because a lot of times we're both drinking. When it's you and I, we're drinking like a Spindrift, but you can't really tell. So that's kind of why I threw it out there. So you're doing better than me here.
I'm trying my best. I did just come from Tortilla Flats, which I'll give them a shout out on the show. Have really upped their game, significantly better than when I used to go. Had a lovely Paloma. So we don't worry, everybody. We are locked and loaded here. But very excited to get into this match. As I mentioned, happy podcast. Part of me really wants to just go through Timmy's player ratings one by one and just have me in the chat just give him hell, which maybe we'll do sometime. That'll be a little bonus episode. We do have a 2-week break coming up, so we have some content to figure out. But Timmy, the storylines going into this one. So bit of mixed form for NFC. We had the draw versus Tampa, loss versus Hearts of Pine, the demolition of Brooklyn, lost to Indy in one of the worst games I've ever watched. And then a win that I don't know that actually you felt probably better than most people about the win against Westchester. I think Matt and I were very kind of mixed bag there. So, in general, like, again, up and down. And I think that's kind of been the story of the season. Like, how are you feeling going into this one?
I mean, I keep making the same reference, but for me, it's you truly don't know what version of Rhode Island FC you're going to get heading into any individual game. It doesn't seem to have any correlation to the quality of the opponent that we're going to play. So in this case, we're heading into it against a pretty putrid Loudoun team. They don't lose that much, but they're definitely not good. They certainly don't win a lot. So I was kind of heading into it expecting a draw. I also feel like it would be on brand for this current Rhode Island FC team to leave us with a bad result in our mouths heading into a 3-week break. So I was not feeling incredibly confident despite the 3-0 victory against Westchester last week.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think on the show last week, I predicted a 1-1 draw. My biggest thing was like, we do not usually play well against bad teams. Like, we will beat the best team in the league, and then the next week we'll drop an absolute stinker. I mean, we literally lost to a League One team this year, who's not even a good League One team.
A terrible League One team.
Yeah, they're in, I think, 11th place in League One, so not a good League One team. Sorry, all the Hearts of Pine fans, but actually, do have to really quickly plug. There was a lot of chat and a lot of comments in the chat about our shirts. These are the Lovely Day for Rhode Island shirts. I think we still have a couple laying around. So if you did want one, DM the Tide Talk Instagram account, and we will hook you up there and figure it out. But yeah, no, the other thing that made me feel terrible is the game kind of starts and they put up the graphic, and Rhode Island FC has never scored a goal against Loudoun. 3-0 nils and a 2-0. And I was like, boy, oh boy. I don't know that after watching soccer all day, am I ready for this one right now?
Yeah, I was going to say, not only do we not usually play well against bad teams, nor have we been playing well on the road, but we also don't usually play well against Loudoun, no matter how bad they've been historically when we've played them. So there wasn't a ton to feel. You would be foolish to have your hopes really high heading into this one, I think.
Yeah, well said. And you did mention the international break. So in quotes, we do have 2 weeks until the next game. So yeah, again, good to go out on a high. But to me, my biggest question before we get into the lineup here. So 6 p.m. kickoff for both Rhode Island FC as well as Morocco, Brazil. Which got the big screen? Which got the little screen?
You underestimate me. I fully skipped Brazil, Morocco. I was 100% Rhode Island FC. I was locked in, brother. Club before any country, including a country I don't live in. I wanted to watch that game, but with the obligations upon me for player ratings.
Which is funny because I would say you didn't even know you're going to be on the podcast at this moment.
No, I didn't. But the player ratings, they require a decent amount of focus on the game, and I didn't trust myself to pay close enough attention to our game if I was multi-screening Brazil and Morocco. So I sacrificed for the good of Tide Talk. What did you do?
I do have to give Timmy credit. Last year, while he was on vacation, I volunteered to do 2 player ratings, and it is harder than you'd think. It is much harder than you think. I'm going to be honest. I had Brazil, Morocco on the big screen, and then I had Rhode Island FC Loudoun on the little screen. But it's because that little screen was so close to me. I wanted the intimacy of Rhode Island FC on my laptop. So I got it all in. I had the sound on for Rhode Island FC. That was the important part. So yeah, no, it's going to be a good one to talk about, as we all know, but we will get into the lineups here. So I'm just going to read it down because every time I try not to, I screw this up big time. But we got Koke Vegas in net with Hugo Baccarat, Grant Stoneman, JJ Williams, Pity Rodriguez, Clay Holstad, Frank Nodarce, Jose Quizera, Nikki the Fish Scardina, Karifa Yao, and Amos Shapiro Thompson here. So, Timmy, what did you think when this lineup came out? And I guess my big question to you, kind of following up there, is what did you think the formation was going to be?
Let me first ask you, am I still here? Because I'm just a black box on my screen right now.
You're here, but you are so deeply, unfortunately, frozen. I'm very sorry for the screen grabs people are currently taking.
Okay, no, that's okay. We'll do it for the audio. Yeah,
I could take you off the screen, but I don't know that I'm going to.
I mean, feel free to if you want to try taking me off and bring me back. But yeah, I think the big surprise when the lineup came out was finally getting a rest. I think he's played every single minute for us starting in the month of April, except for the 45 minutes. The second half against Portland was the only other rest that he's got. So it was nice, actually, to see him getting a rest. But like you alluded to, it did introduce questions of how we were going to line up. I think you and I, Ryan, were aligned in thinking it was going to be a back 3 with Frank, Karifa Yao, and Grant Stoneman as the central defenders, Jose Quizera left wing back, and Nick Scardina as the right wing back. Matt Hans was arguing that it was going to be a back 4, closer to what we've been playing this year. It's like a 4-2-3-1, and he was saying that Frank was going to be left wing back two central defenders in Karifa Yao and Grant Stoneman, and then Nick Scardina playing the right back. We can talk about what the answer to that question was. I think it's pretty fluid. They do switch between the two, but if I had to pick a side, I will admit my mistake and say that Matt Hands was right. I think we were playing a back four. Frank was playing at left back. So
there is no one who gets more run on this podcast than Matt Hands, who's not on the podcast. So that's always unbelievable by us. And I will say he is doing a World Cup daily blog that it's a side quest he signed up for, which I cannot believe. So yeah, if you want to read about the World Cup daily, that's on TideTalkRI.com. But Matt Hands also had his Riptide report as well as Timmy with his player ratings there. But yeah, no, he definitely was right, even though I was trying so hard to continue to argue. The thing so this was interesting. We talked a lot about what does this formation, because we all, I think we've liked this formation, but we've seen in the past that we've had some formations that don't allow us to continue if like one key linchpin is gone. And I've been very nervous at Aldair is the linchpin in us continuing this formation. So with him on the bench, I was nervous because I've always thought Hamdi Diop is the kind of backup to that left back position. And he's also been on the injury report. So, seeing Frank out there, very admirable for him, who, Frank's traditionally a center back. He's been doing a fantastic job at right back. We saw him back at center back last game. Now he's out on the left back spot. So, doing a job. We've seen him at wing back before too. But it was really interesting. The one thing I really hated about this formation, though, is it moved Quizera to the left wing from the right wing, which he's been doing like so much damage this year. He's actually number 2 in the league in FOTMOB rating. I didn't know that until last night. So, that was my only kind of big pet peeve here. But again, this is a Loudoun team that's been struggling and something that we should be able to beat them no matter kind of how we set up. But I don't love that we felt like we weren't putting our best players in their kind of favored positions.
Yeah, the other, and we're kind of getting into like not our reaction to the lineup, but what we actually saw in execution. But I also think we've kind of been alternating between having Hugo as the lone holding midfielder with Clay and Amos playing as like 8s in front of him. But in this game, we had Clay and Hugo in a double pivot and Amos playing as like a lone 10, which is an interesting use for a player of his profile, especially when Pity Rodriguez is out wide on the wing. I think obviously it ultimately worked out in this game, but that was another interesting call that was sort of unexpected for me. Even when the lineup came out, that's not sort of how I pictured this going. I don't know.
Timmy, the chat is asking, are you panicking right now?
Pretty much, yeah. It says my camera's blocked by another application. I'm I only have one application open, so cool.
We're rolling with it. You get if you're here for the visuals, I'm sorry you just get me, but we will go into the match here. So we start off in quite a interesting fashion. In the second minute, Jack P misses a sitter of a lifetime in his revenge game against RIFC. So I didn't love that. 5th minute, we get JJ getting the shit kicked out of him, and obviously it's a foul on him, which is just something that this league continues to referee him very differently. It's like the Shaq rules. And back in the NBA in the early 2000s, we do see a bit of good stuff from RIFC on set pieces with JJ. Really, I like that he was really on the move on corners. I like that we're getting him with like a little bit of speed, which kind of leads up to the 22nd minute where we see a Clay Holstead long throw with some success for Loudoun FC here. So it's 1-0 Rhode Island here after a Clay Holstead long throw and a nice flick on from, I think Hugo ended up with the assist there. Lands on JJ Williams' head, and an absolute striker in form here. But Timmy, are you surprised that having JJ Williams in the box on long throws is it better than him not being in the box on long throws?
Yeah, that really is quite a fascinating thing to find out. The Clay long throws have been looking quite dangerous. He even had another one later in this game that we got a really good shot on target from Karifa out of. I think especially for a set piece enthusiast such as yourself, this is a very important one to our arsenal, I would say right now, especially a team that doesn't
to our what?
No. That doesn't always have like the most reliable ways of creating chances and scoring. I'm just as much as you would cheer when you win a corner. At this point, like when we win a throw in the attacking third, we should be equally excited because it has just as good of a chance as us getting a good looking attack out of it.
Yeah, I mean, who knew Clay Holstad's hand getting fully healthy was like the key to unlocking some significant tactic this year?
Yeah, another question for you about this goal. Were we celebrating? Were those celebrations that you saw there?
I'm seeing some. Look at Grant. The freeze frame here. Those are 2 arms above his head. I'm seeing hugs. I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. So, if you happened over the weekend to make a really long YouTube video about how RIFC doesn't celebrate, boy, are you in the mud on this one.
Yeah,
it would be a real shame if you did that.
I was told by someone incredibly reliable who knows the team very well that we don't celebrate. So that's interesting.
It's wild stuff. Timmy, I have a question to volley back at you.
Yeah.
Do you think so? I have a bunch. This is very fun that Timmy was on here. I did not know who my co-host was going to be tonight for a while, and I wrote down a bunch of questions. And boy, do I love peppering you with them. Is Clay Holstad the best all-around athlete in the USL? Like, if you had to draft like a Pablo Sanchez of the USL, is it Clay Holstad?
Yeah. When you put it that way, if you were doing backyard USL game and you were giving me the first overall draft pick, yeah, you probably would go with Clay. And I think he's quietly in an incredible run of form right now. Like, I know he didn't technically hit the score sheet in this game. He ends up having 2 hockey assists in this game, which for those who don't know, that's basically the pass before the assist. But his
way to spoil the rest of the show. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm assuming most people who are here have seen the goals. Yeah, Clay has I think he has three actual goal contributions in his last 5 starts, up between the USL Cup and the USL Championship, and that's not including his two uncounted goal contributions in this game. I think he made both of those goals happen. So,
yep.
I don't know why Matt Hans is calling this a terrible take. I'd love to hear what choice who he would argue is a better backyard USL pick. But Clay's doing a lot for this team right now.
Like, if you were like, Clay Holstad is a phenomenal wiffle ball player, can play really well at tennis, and is as good as he is at soccer, I don't know how you can't pick him here. So yeah, if anyone has a pick other than Clay for their number 1 draft pick for USL, JJ, interesting. Yeah, and Frank, I don't know about Frank. All right, I mean,
this is kind of the level of take that I was expecting back from Matt Hans when he said that was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Again, Clay Holstad for number 1 USL draft pick, but other than that, I mean, the first half was quite a honestly dull affair. There is one other moment I had written down, which was in the 42nd minute, there was like an undercut on Frank, which I think like just needs to be an automatic yellow when people do that. That like genuinely bothers me so much. And when I say undercut, I mean like Frank goes up for a header, the person just kind of ducks under him, so then Frank kind of goes over him and lands pretty hard on his back. Like, I hate that play. So I really wish the soccer governing bodies would take that away. But I mean, Timmy, anything of note as we kind of get to halftime other than the goal?
Anything of note? I mean, quite honestly, no. I mean, I don't think either team did much of anything in the first half, and maybe I'm getting ahead to the next slide, but like JJ's goal was our first shot on target, our first shot rather, and I think we had one other shot in this half, and it was Clay outside the box that went about 20 feet over the net. So we did absolutely nothing. And Loudoun after the first 15 minutes really didn't do anything either. So
nope.
I mean that suits us in that case because we scored in the 22nd minute. Neither team did anything for the next 23 minutes, and I think that kind of favors us in that position.
Yeah, when from what I'm getting from the chat here, we missed a 90th minute winner by Ivory Coast, so that's good. But yeah, so moving into halftime here, Timmy kind of read out all the stats with his notes there, but 70-30 possession towards Loudoun, 6 shots to Loudoun to R2. Both had 1 shot on target. We had the 1 big chance. 85% passing accuracy for Loudoun, 63% for Rhode Island. They had 4 fouls to R12, and then they had 0 corners to R3. I mean, my biggest takeaway from the first half, my only note was there was about maybe 100 people at this game, and it seems like this game was played as if there was only like 100 people at this game.
Yeah, that actually, I think I posted this in the Defiant 1636 Discord. But do you feel like Loudoun's going to be around in 5 years?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of hard to rescue a team from like, why would the fans over the past few years have been like investing in this team when like the players were doing their own laundry? I know they did get bought by like a new like ownership group, so maybe they'll revive it. But like, what a really tough way to start.
Yeah, I mean, they have the lowest attendance in the league. They were averaging about 1,000. To your point, it looked like there was about 100 yesterday. I did see a couple shots that there was more people underneath the broadcast camera, but not by a whole lot.
I mean, multiply it by 17, and I don't know that you get like 1,000. So yeah. I don't know. It was. I mean, again, it's gonna be interesting to see how the USL kind of competes with like the World Cup, and it was very hot this weekend throughout the East Coast. So a lot of factors there. But boy, oh boy, was that attendance really tough in Loudoun last night. We do know there's actually a couple RIFC fans there, which was very fun. They showed them on the broadcast, but yeah, I mean, going into halftime, it was really looking like a dull affair. But boy, oh boy, coming out of halftime, RFC made sure that was not the case. So I thought, we really came out with a lot of energy there. And we do see that payoff in the 48th minute here.
I'm going to refresh.
So Nicky the Fish puts RIFC up 2-0 in the 48th minute. I've watched these goals a few times. I don't think I had properly appreciated how good JJ's his like assist there is. That is an unbelievable assist from JJ to put that across the net. Great ball in from Amos there, and Nicky the Fish gets to just tap that in for his I think first goal for Rhode Island FC. Pretty positive.
First goal in the league, yeah.
Timmy, your audio is a disaster now. I also, for everyone in the chat, I had the technical issues at a time. This is just very funny that Timmy is now having them as we go. I think your mic is the wrong mic, is what's happening.
Is that any better?
Significantly. There you go. Let it rip on our pal Nicky the Fish.
That's funny because I just selected the same mic that was already selected and it seems to have fixed it, but
This podcast also needs a 3-week break, international break.
Yeah. I mean, you stole my note about the JJ assist, and I know you don't like to read the blogs before doing the pod, but I called out the same thing. I said of all JJ's contributions, this was the best one. He did a lot of work to get that assist. It's a nice cross that Amos puts in, but the job was not done at that point. JJ did very well outside of his foot to really give Scardina a tap in. I mean, well done by him to be in that spot, especially as a right back making that run. But that's a goal anyone should finish because the setup is just so nice. And
former right wing back, Amish Shapiro Thompson out there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of gave him a little bit of crap for playing as the 10 in this game, but well, I guess he doesn't get an assist. He gets another hockey assist. A lot of hockey talk tonight, but it's good work by him. And I thought Pitty's hold-up play to set this up is actually really nice as well. And it's one of the first times, interestingly, at the start of the second half that Amos is actually in the wider role right here, and Pitty's playing more in that central position. And he holds it up really well. He lays it off to Amos, and it creates the goal. So really well worked by the team, though.
Well worked by the team, and again, a great celebration. So much so that that is the cover of this episode on YouTube. Nick Scardina celebrating. So, yeah. So from there, we do see RFC. To me, I thought they were really feeling it after this. There actually was a JJ Williams offside goal that was like a really nice rebound that he put in, and it felt like we were all of a sudden about to really pile it on. But all of a sudden, we see kind of Loudoun flip the script there. They kind of have a really nice sustained bit of possession, and in the 57th minute, they break us down here. So, Timmy, they do say that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer. Were you nervous at this point?
Yeah, I was obviously. I think our response after this was really, really good, which I'm very happy with. But I had
it is skip ahead.
I had no idea. I had no idea at the moment what was going to happen from here. I felt like Loudoun was going to get momentum from this. Can I ask you 3 yes or no questions about this goal?
You 3 questions. Okay, let's go.
You're like trying to run the chat, and I'm just gonna. You said you were gonna pepper me with questions, but I'm gonna do the same.
I had 2. You got one of them, but let's go.
Okay, number 1. Was Frank a little casual blocking the cross here, working to block the cross?
Do you want me to just give my full note on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. Yes on number 1.
Okay.
I'll go through your game first.
Okay. Did Koke have a chance at grabbing it?
Grabbing it, no. Hitting it, maybe. I did not write that down initially, but I've watched replay a couple times, and I think he could have gotten something on it. Okay,
and number 3, as a former fullback yourself, and wait, let me make sure that this is coming out as a yes or no. Was it Nick Scardina's job to track the runner here?
No, I actually think it's a pretty bad mix-up between him and Grant.
I agree.
I think he's only back there because he's like panicking because he sees the guy running through. His guy is the one who's like further outward.
There's 2 guys. There's 2 guys wide behind him that he's yes. Okay. Well, I agree. I think we agree on all 3 of those. What's your full note?
My full note was Frank looking like not a left back out there, and Scardina and Grant mix up who's taking the runner. That was really eloquent stuff I write down during these games. But no, I mean, I think someone said it in the chat, like, it was a very good team goal. Yeah. Matt Hands, I literally have it on the screen already. It was a very good team goal. Like, I don't want to take it away from them. I think there's just like 4 like half things that go wrong for Rhode Island FC that all happen at the exact same time. I don't think there's anyone who's at like major fault here. I just think there's like a couple little things that, let's watch the film, let's grind the tape, let's get it better next time. But there's nothing like abhorrently wrong here. It was a good team goal.
I agree, and I definitely subscribe to not every single goal requires like an investigation of whose fault that was, and then a lot of times the answer is no one. Those were just a couple of things that It's like I'm not putting full blame on any of these things, but I'm putting like a little bit on all.
This is very funny. This is how like your player rating should come with this kind of like caveat at the beginning, because they don't feel that way. I'll tell you that much. But folks, it comes to my unfortunate attention that there's only 5 likes so far. So let's smash that like button, guys. Speaking of subscribing and liking to theories, let's get those likes up for Timmy's self-esteem. He has to take pelters on the player ratings every week. So after this, we do see some subs come in. So in the 60th minute, we have Leo and Noah for Pity and Quizera. And then in the 65th minute, we have Aldier for Amos. And we go to a back 5, 65 minutes in. I was fascinated at this decision. How did you feel when we kind of switched formations and we might have been going to hunker down mode?
It all still sort of feels like planned. It still feels like planned subs to me. Like, I don't necessarily feel like we're reacting to what's happening in the game with the subs, but they all worked in this game, so I really can't complain one way or another. I thought Leo and Noah really kind of changed how our attack looked when they came on. I thought they were really bright. I think they link up, or rather, I think Noah gets a has a good opportunity that gets blocked almost immediately after coming on. So I liked that a lot, but yeah, to your point, and yeah, maybe bringing Alder on and going to the back three is kind of a defensive minded substitution. So like you're saying, we're going to hunker down mode. But then I feel like the subs that eventually follow that, and you're going to say I'm skipping ahead, are less
hasn't stopped yet tonight.
then I feel like we make some less conservative subs. So it's a little bit confusing, but again, good subs. I think every substitution made an impact and worked in our favor on the night. So why am I complaining? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, moment in time, I did not love what we did. So I would say like Noah, yeah, we'll talk about it because yeah, in the 70th minute, we do get an amazing run from Clay that sets up RIFC's third goal on the night here. Full hug and high five. That is another celebration on the tally tonight, folks. But yeah, a really beautiful break. I mean, this goal, Leo puts it in the back of the net, but this is Clay Holstad's goal.
Yeah, you cannot overstate how good that run was from Clay. It was one of those runs where by the time he's actually breaking forward with the ball, first of all, you don't believe it. Second, I'm not positive he believed it the way that he broke through those three tackles to get there. And to his credit, like I've been kind of critical of Clay this year on his ability to run the break in these situations. Like oftentimes I feel like the eventual pass hasn't been exactly the one that we need, but he plays this one perfectly. And Noah does really, really well with it. I think the best part, we've seen a lot of dangerous chances get wasted and good crosses get wasted because no one's in the box. What I think is best about this play by Noah is that barely cut back cross could have found any of three players. Leo is the one who finishes it, and it's a really composed finish, but very nearly could have found Clay making the run. And JJ also lets it go to make it to Leo. So I love seeing that there's really three players who had a chance at finishing this ball, even though Leo's the one to eventually do it.
So Sarah put in the chat, like, I love the JJ move here. Do you think it was intentional? Like, did Leo give him a shout? Like, what do you think happened there? Because I was very surprised JJ did not go for this.
That's a good question. I would have to honestly watch it back closer. My instinct from the times that I've watched it is that Leo must have given a shout, because it looks like he's almost instinctively winding up to take it and changes his mind at the last second. So I assume that is what happened. I can't think of any other explanation really for letting him do it, because based on form right now, you want JJ smashing that. So
yeah,
I think there was probably a shout. That's my guess.
Yeah, and listen, like when you give your star striker a shout, you got to put it in the back of the net. And shout out to Leo for doing so. His second goal in 2 games here. So other than that, we have the 75th minute, Busy and Zachary Haraval come on for Hugo and Nick Scardina. Noah, after he gets his 10 minutes of offensive time, goes to right wing back. And then on the 77th minute, we do get a really nasty challenge on JJ. It does lead to a free kick, but really terrifying moment. Like, he's in such good form, and anything that potentially would lose him, especially with, like, we saw a striker go out on recalled from loan to go back out on loan to another club in our league, blah, 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 blah. But, it's a situation that we, as much as we can, especially with the little break coming up, don't want to see happen. But glad he was right back up to take the free kick. And then finally, in the 87th minute, we get the final goal on the night to make it 4-1 Rhode Island FC. Can't confirm or deny that there was a celebration there. So maybe it was only 3 on the night. But to me, my big question on this one, and these are, I would say the past couple questions have been unplanned. But the big question here is, was that a shot or a pass from JJ?
It's either this one or Scardina's goal. One of them is credited as a shot attempt on a SofaScore. I want to say that they did it with the Scardina one, but this one feels closer to a shot. JJ is just a goals first guy, so probably a shot.
He ripped that across the net.
Yeah. Again, like I said on Scardina's, like, it's kind of a tap in, but I give Busy a ton of credit for making the run and being in that position to capitalize there, especially because it kind of, both the defender and the goalkeeper for Loudoun had a pretty good chance at getting this thing. So it requires a quick reaction, and he takes it a little awkwardly. I think he hits it with his left foot to finish it. So it's a decent finish. It's one you would certainly expect an attacking player to make, but
sure.
Yeah, another nice goal. And Busy's already making the nice run. This is kind of, I don't know if the pass that JJ receives was intended for him. But Busy was already.
It definitely wasn't. Leo was absolutely trying to put Busy through, which worked out great, but very funny.
It did. So yeah, I liked the run that Busy was making even before this turned into a real goal scoring opportunity. So good cameo for him. I meant to say this when we were talking about the lineup, and Matt Hans is going to call me an idiot. I had no idea Kuzera and Busy were going to be back for this game. I was so pleasantly surprised to see them in the lineup.
I'll be very honest. I don't know that I clocked. I wasn't fully aware of the come-ins and goings. I knew, obviously I knew they were both out last week, and I just never put it together. Oh yeah, they would obviously be coming back probably pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing to admit, but again, Matt Hans will call both of us an idiot for that one, but
he is. Well, historically, Kuzera misses two matches when he goes to play with Rwanda. And again, there's so much international football happening right now. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't checking on Rwanda and Jamaica's friendlies schedule. So sorry, Matt Hans, you're a special boy.
Only some of us are locked in. Some of us are locked in.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get blogs on those matches, but
yeah, to Andrew Milko's point in the chat, so stoked to have them both back, and very much agree here. But with that it kind of puts the end on this one. They played another couple minutes that were very unremarkable. But so full time here we have Loudoun with 1.57 expected goals to Rhode Island FC's 2.62. Loudoun with 66% possession with RIFC at 34. Loudoun had 10 shots to R12. They had 3 shots on target to R6. They had 1 big chance. We had 3. 85% passing accuracy for Loudoun to R72. Loudoun won 71% of their tackles to R62. They had 13 fouls to R17, and we had 1 corner apiece. So, interesting one here. I think we had 3 out of 4 of the winning 3 out of 4 of the winning recipe. So I have to keep bringing that up. I didn't make a slide for it tonight, but excited to see that continue. And you'll be shocked to hear that the man of the match was none other than JJ Williams with an 8.9 on FOTMob with 1 goal and 2 assists. So, Timmy, at full time, how'd you feel about this one?
Really good. Another goals explosion from Rhode Island FC, which I should have checked this before. I wonder how many times we scored 4 goals in a game, especially in the league last season. So it's really nice to see. I did think Loudoun was absolutely putrid in the second half. After their goal in the 58th minute, I think that all that they had was 2 or 3 shots, all from outside of the box. And if you look at the defensive contributions for our center backs, usually there's at least one of them, if not both, with 10, 12, 13 defensive contributions. They both had 4 or 5 in this game. They played well, and they I thought in particular in the second half had a couple of good moments where he sort of snuffed out the danger before it materialized into a shot. But Loudoun just had absolutely nothing going on in the last 30 minutes of this game. And I thought, despite the incredibly lopsided possession, we the game, it's what other teams do to us. Like the game was completely on our terms. We just let Loudoun have the ball. We were very clinical when we had the ball, and I felt very comfortable in the last 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, once they scored, it was a little nervy, but it was great that we were able to kind of make some subs, and then with the Clay run that finds Layout to put it home to make it 3. I think that really put the game to bed there, because that was kind of Loudoun's last grasp there.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they were out of it even before that,
yeah.
But
I mean, it's unfortunate that their home fans could not pump them up and give them that boost, but maybe next time. But Timmy, my big question for you, this was the other big question I had. Is this win bigger than the win against Charleston? So the reason I'm saying that, RIFC have traditionally struggled in the past playing against bad teams. We're accused a lot of playing down to our opponent as well as up. So it goes both ways. But does a win against a very bad Loudoun team inspire you with more confidence than a win against a Charleston Battery?
I'm gonna say this is just
chat. If you're in the chat and you want to weigh in on this one, feel free.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say no. I think the Charleston win was bigger, but I understand your thoughts behind the question. And part of my thinking is Charleston came after. It was within a couple weeks of 3-1 road win against Lexington, which at the time I thought was an important result, and then the 1-1 penalty loss to the New England Revolution in the US Open Cup. So I think the momentum that felt like we were building at that time in the season to then win at home 4-0 against a good team that we have a decent amount of history against in our short two and a third year history. I thought that was the bigger win. That just felt like we were really kind of hitting a good run of form in the middle of April. We know that wasn't exactly true, because we didn't exactly roll into good form. We had a pretty rough May and June following that. It's June now. We had a pretty rough May following that, is what I meant to say. I do think that this is an important result, but when it's on the heels of the 1-0 loss at Indy, I don't know. I still don't know what to expect with this team every single week. So I don't know if we're building momentum out of this, or if this was another result like the victory at home against Brooklyn. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm very excited about this one. This is the type of game that we would traditionally tie or lose, and it'd be heartbreaking. I mean, we saw Sporting Jacks get smoked 6-1 last night. And again, I said the moment it happened, that episode, but that Jacksonville draw opening day is going to be disgusting to look at the end of this calendar year. They might be worse than any of these Miami teams that have been around these past couple of years. But yeah, I don't know. It's a type of game. Again, it fills me with confidence in terms of we can go out and beat the teams we're supposed to beat. And that has not been exactly our MO. But to your point, this has been a very inconsistent team. I read out our last 5 matches, and it's not a great set of stats to watch. I think we have, I think it's 7 points in our past 5 games, even including this win. So it's not like we're some consistent juggernaut. Unfortunately, with the results last night, we still are outside of the playoff picture. So a lot more to come with this one. But with that being said, we will jump to your thoughts before we kind of get into the in focus and into what comes next here. So we will start on, let's do Facebook. On Facebook, we have Chris Peterson with his 3 great away win. On Instagram, we have nothing. Man, everyone's taking the break already. On Twitter, we got also nothing. All right. Everyone's locked in on this one. And I will check out the Defiant 1636 Discord here.
There's not a ton in there either. I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of
people have been really piling them in at the end here. So
okay, good. I was going to say, I thought World Cup fever had taken over, which I certainly don't blame anybody.
No, I'm sorry. I have to go through Matt Hans's 12 blogs about the World Cup. We got Sarah here with good. Henry's mid-game score prediction was right. Better Matt Hans using his hands and typing out 2 blogs during the game. Best RIFC win and a Scotland win. RIFC in 3. Super JJ Williams. We got Dave Audette here with good. Nikki the Fish with a goal. I just love that is starting to stick, which is beautiful. We got better, a win against Loudoun finally, and best, a dominant win. RAFC in 3, the tide rolls on. Yeah, absolutely love to hear it. Again, another Matt Hans blog has hit the chat. We got Chelsea J here with in 3, so much scoring. Timmy, we have you here, which I always find awkward when the host is on here, but I'm going to read them out for you. We'll see if you disagree or agree with your own takes, but we got good. Another game with 4 goals scored. Better, a mature road win before the quote-unquote international break. And best, JJ is absolutely cooking in 3, finally beat Loudoun. Anything you'd like to say to yourself from less than 3 hours ago?
Yeah, I was going to say I wrote those like 20 minutes before we got on. So no, I'm good. I agree with me.
Beautiful. We got Andrew Melko here with good. We can beat Loudoun. I like that everyone. Loudoun has really scarred some people, which is wild. Better. We can like really beat Loudoun. Best, 4 goals and 3 points in 3. Enjoy the break. And he said, if only we had some football to watch in the meantime with the Scottish flag. We got Joe Burns here with RAFC in 3 Haiku Edition. Oh, baby. Great game yesterday. JJ scores again for real. Fuck Hartford always. That is a beautiful one. I might get that printed. We got Natesky here with his good win, better goals, best. Finally got Loudoun off the list. That is really wild that we'd never be. And we got Chad M here to round us out with good, 3 solid points on the road, better, 4 goals in all solid finishes, and best, Nikki the Fish on the scoreboard. LFG in 3, not Loudoun's bitch. Thank you to everybody who chimed in. And yeah, if you the Nikki the Fish nickname, there is a sticker floating around Define 1636 universe that is absolutely tremendous with the Nikki the Fish nickname. You will see it out and about, so keep your eyes peeled there. But Timmy, we're going to move to In Focus, and this one's going to be a quick one here, and it's just JJ Williams. JJ Williams is in focus. He has 14 goals and assists in his 15 matches this year, and that's across all competitions. Unfortunately, there was some preposterous scoring last night that for you. Luckily, I did not like clock that like some other wacky stuff happened in the USL last night because I was not prepared to change these slides. He's now tied 3rd for the USL Championship goals and assists, 6th in the USL Championship Golden Boot, and he's 1st in FOTMOB ranking. Just to be clear on how wild last night was, he was, I think, tied 2nd for the USL. No, he's like, yeah,
first or first. I think he was first.
Tied 1st for the USL goals and assists, and he was tied, I think, 3rd for the Golden Boot. Unfortunately, Darren Smith from Detroit scored 5 goals against that Jacksonville team that I will continue to bring up how annoyed I am that we drew against them. But Timmy, JJ Williams, go on.
I mean, there's a lot of things to say. I guess I'll start with 2 points. One is we've heard him regularly and as recently as this season speak candidly in his press conference about how he needs to be better. He needs to contribute more goals, more assists, and that the team's success is directly tied to his contributions. And he is completely answering his own call. He said that right at the beginning of this season, and he is just on an unbelievable run of form right now. We've talked for 3 years now about the limits for this team really being like how far JJ can take us when he's in form like this. Historically, we've seen it happen in September and October, and that has carried us really far, 2 seasons in November. Right now, the way that he's playing, I think that the opportunity looking at the table is definitely there for us to get into the top 4. And if he can maintain, he could have a really special season if he maintains 80% of the level that he's playing at right now, because to have him maintain 100% of the level he's playing at right now would be obscene. But I'll say 80% if he can carry this through the season. It would solve a lot of our problems, and that's not to say that our problems are JJ's fault, but he is solving
he fixes a lot of them.
Yes.
No, he's having a really special year, and I mean, I think with JJ, it all comes down to health, and can we keep him healthy and keep him on the pitch? And sorry, I think you were going to say something.
Just one other piece, and I want to hear your thoughts on it too. But what I was really impressed with last night was he didn't have a lot of chances, nor did he have a lot of touches, but he was just absolutely lethal with them when the ball found him in the box. And it reminds me, I'm sorry to drag him through the mud. It's exactly what Dikwa could never do for us when he was leading the line. And it's what we needed him to do. Was, you're going to get 15 touches in this game. Can you turn one of those into a goal? And JJ, right? I think JJ had about 30 touches in the game and three goal contributions. So that's about 1 goal contribution for every 10 touches that he got, which is just ridiculous. Like, that's clinical is almost like a cliched word, but it's dangerous every single time he touches the ball in the attacking third, which is just, there's not a lot of players who can do that in the USL Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think his chance creation has been fantastic this year. I think he's really gone up a level there. I think previously it was kind of like either was scoring or his hold-up play was fantastic, and we're really seeing him add layers to his game. I think that we all thought were there, and we've definitely seen in kind of patches, but he's just been consistently so good this year. And I think that's why, the red card against Louisville, that's what drove me absolutely nuts of him getting that. It's just because, like, this team, in order to be the best version of themselves, like, needs him on the pitch. So, yeah, we're just seeing a player who's in the best form I've seen him in so far. I mean, we've seen, especially the playoffs year one, him get extremely hot and look incredible, but he's just been consistently very good for the first, a little over the third of this season. So big shout out to JJ, again, leading the league in FOP mob rating. And I have to give Joe J a shout out, who is second in that metric. So all in all, so very good stuff happening. We also sneakily are, I think we're tied for second in the East for goals scored, which that happened all of a sudden. So some interesting stuff happening with RIFC, but again, still down 9th place, but things are looking better here. So next up, RIFC host Orange County at home on the 4th of July. Kind of cool that we get 2 back-to-back home games with fireworks. I'll definitely take that. But Timmy, with your couple-week break here, what are you going to do with it? Will we see a double pivot episode?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is like bait/bullying. Yeah, we are planning to do. Notice I said planning to do, not are going to do. A double pivot episode, so we'll try to get something out
on the record, folks,
there within the next few weeks. But I mean, outside of Rhode Island FC, like, the World Cup bug could not have bit me harder. Like, right now, I'm like looking at the group stage schedule, and I'm like, how many of these games can I watch, and how am I going to watch them? Like, I just want to see all of it, and
keep your job. Yeah.
I don't care about that part so much.
Somebody clip
it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and that novelty does wear off a little bit as the group stage wears on. And there's a lot of group stage games this year. Like, I'm certainly happy that I didn't commit myself to writing a blog about every single one of the group stage games. But I'm looking forward to watching them. I want to check out the Fan Fest down in Providence. I don't know. I don't think I have much else going on. How about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. World Cup bug for sure. Spend time with the family. You probably hear my little guy in the background of this episode a little bit. But I'm excited. I mean, I think one thing to pivot this very roughly back to RIFC is, like, I'm very intrigued to see how Coach Kano and his staff use this time. Like, this is a very interesting break in the season for them to take stock, how are things going in terms of how they thought they might go, what potential roster moves might need to be made, how can we find some consistency? And that would be my biggest charge to Kano and staff, is, like, this team has shown that they are plenty good enough to compete at the top of this league. How can we, put together a run of results that put them properly where they should be? So yeah, there's a lot of it's going to be interesting to see where they kind of come out of this break themselves, and then how do the players come out? We've had some players who've already played a lot of minutes. Hopefully they get a nice little break. But also, like, how do we not lose this amazing form that JJ is in? How do we not lose the amazing form JJ is in? While also maybe bringing up some of the players who haven't started as strongly there. So yeah, a lot of again interesting stuff for Coach Kano and staff to dive into.
I mean, could I offer a suggestion? Maybe just train Clay long throws the entire 3-week break and just get those really dialed in, and we'll just bank on scoring a few more of those. I don't see why not.
I mean, I don't even know if they need to practice that. Like that's just working.
Yeah, but I'm saying turn it into like I'm saying turn it into a cheat code. Like right now, it's a very legitimate avenue of attack. Like I want to see us converting on those 75% of the time.
So you think set piece goals count? It's a viable way that people
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, listen, I will never hold any goal is a good goal for me. But Timmy, as we head out for our Tide Talk break, international break, any last words here?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I said the same thing in the player ratings blog. I have been on the wrong end of a bad result heading into an international break too many times, thanks to my Premier League team support. So feels really good to be heading into it with a very comfortable, convincing win. And I hope that the team can. I don't think our schedule is too tough in July. A lot of the teams ahead of us in the table actually we have a couple games in hand. We don't have games in hand on the teams immediately 4 spots in front of us, which is annoying. But the top 4 teams, we have games in hand on all of them, including Louisville. We've played 3 less games then, which is just absolutely preposterous.
Yeah, there's something wacky. I don't understand what's going on with some of the games.
The schedule, to call the schedule jacked up would be an understatement. It's absolutely ridiculous. But all it takes is a couple of good results going our way, and we could be challenging for a very strong spot on the table. So yeah, I'm eager. Based on the result yesterday, I'm very eager for the team to get back out there and kind of build on this momentum. But we're going to have to wait 3 weeks.
That I think is a beautiful way to wrap things up on this one. And just a reminder, folks, that Tide Talk is more than just a podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for daily social media content. We also have apparently TikTok and Threads. Also have to shout out the blog at tidetalkri.com, where you can find player ratings, pre- and post-match analysis, and our take on the latest RIFC news, as well as daily World Cup blogs from Matt Hands. So make sure you check those out throughout the international break here. But I've been your host, Ryan, and a big thank you to Timmy for joining me tonight. And most importantly, thank you to everyone who joined in live and anyone who supports the work that we do. We'll see you next time. And as always, up the tide.
Up the tide.